Howdy, I got another transportation story for you. It's actually pretty short. Um, I had a boss that I worked for who, well, I got fired by him once. And the reason why is I was 5 minutes late. It was like 3:30 in the morning when I was supposed to be in. I was 5 minutes late. So he fired me. We got into a big fight. Um, to fit the stereotype, my boss was a Jewish Italian from the Bronx. Very loud, very vulgar, and hot tempered. And anyway, so we got into a shouting match. And I know cash is king. And I said, "You fire me now, you got to pay me all my money now." We argued for an hour over this. I said, "Fine, I'll sue you." So he wrote me out a check. The check was good. And I got fired. It's that simple. I just went to another transportation company and had a job the next day. That wasn't a problem because I'm a fair driver. So anyway, I did that job, and that company wasn't as good as the company I got fired from. But 3 years later, I quit my telephone job that I was doing, and he hired me back. But the cool thing is because he knew I wouldn't put up with any guff from people, is he put me in the town cars. And I got an entirely different clientele. Well, anyway, the story I wanted to get to was I had a trip where I didn't have names of my passengers. And there's a certain level of passengers where you don't know their names because you don't need to know who they are and they don't need to be known. And you don't need to be bragging about who they are, this, that, and the other. It's for them. The service is for them. It's not for me. So they were an older couple, and they were in their 80s. They had to have been in their 80s because they were tiny, and they were very, very polite, very cordial, not very conversive. So my job was a black car job. Was to drive them around town at night in Los Angeles, and I had to go to a couple of different spots and drop them off. Get out, go around the back of the car, let them out. Always let the lady out first, and then the man. And I don't know why they had that procedure, but that's what I was told to do. So anyway, I dropped them off, picked them up. 3 trips I did that night. This was all prepaid. I don't handle any money or anything like that. My money's dirty. So there was no money paid. And so anyway, on the way back, they were in the back of the town car. And I used this spray that makes any car smell brand new in the car. And these 2 people, it's so funny. They would sit there, and I would watch them in the mirror because I'm making sure they're okay. But every time one of them would fart, I could tell because one of them would open the window and then close it. And then the other person on the other side of the car open the window and then close it. And he did it about 6 or 7 times all the way from Los Angeles way down south to Laguna Beach. And then I got a big cash tip out of that one. That's big enough. I don't need to talk about that either. But anyway, it was a kind of a boring night, but it was funny because of the way they were doing. They didn't want to offend each other, and they didn't want to offend the driver, so every time one of them would fart, they'd just crack the rear window open. Just a tiny bit, draft it, close it, da-da-da. No conversation, nothing, hardly any conversation the whole night. Just a thank you, yes sir, no sir, kind of thing. Anyway, that's my one of my funny experiences for doing. I guess was kind of a short limo for the night, and I was just in regular driver's clothes. You know, you had to wear a tie, nice shirt, be ironed, and not Levi's. So anyway, they were wealthy people. I know that. Anyway, have a good night, and thanks for watching my video. That popped in my head tonight, and I had to say something about that because it was hilarious, and I had the hardest time not laughing or having a cheesy smile. I might have to be a professional driver and drive smooth, and that's the trick to big tips is drive fast, drive smooth, don't scare your passengers. Anyway, if they can't remember the ride, you did a good job. So there you go. Have a good night. Bye. Silly.